Hi, John Marshall coming to you again from Ontario. So we have New York 961 and don't know exactly what's going on here. This is so if I was the judge and I was watching this, I would I'd form I'd form my opinion starting as soon as anyone would. I'd form my opinion as soon as I see this, and my opinion so far is, boy, this isn't looking so hot. It looks like they don't know what to do. Uh, now, I'm not exactly sure of the context here. I know that the team is falling in, but why the commander had to wave everybody forward, I'm not exactly sure. So maybe the judge gave a signal or instructions before the video. So I'm just letting you know, the more professional you look all the time, the better you're going to come across. Oh, that was interesting. I liked that step off. Very loose, and then all of a sudden into a more militaristic. So why not have the team incorporated into that report in? It was just a series of movements performed by the commander. So now watch the commander's left knee. So here, the bouncing, the bending of the knees, that doesn't come across as maintaining military flavor, not at all. The rest of the team, however, doing a similar movement, looking like it's the same, but not bending the knees like the commander is, comes across much more of a, I guess you'd say, professional level. It comes across maintaining military flavor. Now, I have to be honest. Exhibition drill like this is not my cup of tea. I really don't. I don't like writing this type of routine, and judging it fine. I will present my dispassionate view. I'm not going to put my feelings into it at all, but you have to have military flavor in there. So see the other legs there, the left legs. Now the right leg brought out to the side, fine, not a problem. Arms out to the sides, I get that. That's good. It works well. Turning the head with the right leg coming out to the side, that all creates emphasis to the right, and I like the I appreciate the ripple going back, but the difference in quality there from the commander to the rest of the team is very significant. So here, look where the arms are. So some of the cadets are bringing their arms up almost to make a T, almost to a T. So actually, this young lady right here, she's pretty much making a T, coming up to shoulder level with her entire arm. The rest are at very different levels, and also at there's some quite a bit of phasing in here as well. So this just isn't coming. coming across, communicating as well as it could. Um, you can see the arms not really coming up all that consistently. And honestly, Commander, it looks like you're flapping your wings almost. So it's a very repetitious here with the same movement over and over again. Then I appreciate moving out into the different sections. So why did you move out to the different sections? So does this create emphasis? Does this have a logical flow to your performance? Maybe it does. Maybe I'm going to see this as it comes together. So again, I have to ask, how is this coming across with military flavor? Just because you wear a uniform, just because you sometimes stand at attention, does this mean that there's military flavor being communicated? And you have to remember that everything that you do is all about communication with your performance. Different different leg techniques here. So the last individuals here on the ends coming into their positions and then turning completely around just didn't really flow well. So if you're going to do something like that, I would suggest that you come in and out so that even cross over so that everyone who moves into their position moves into it from a straight line instead of having to completely turn around there. It comes across as awkward. Others were able to move into their position and then just turn the 90 degrees, whereas the two ends were turning the 180. So your ripple line here has a interesting concepts. I appreciate that and I like that too. That's great. However, you have to remember that you need to maintain consistency throughout the performance. So the you have what are you doing here? You're you're at your position that you've created, but you've picked a certain movement sequence, like this sequence here, and you then all you do is repeat it over and over and over again for that segment of the routine. Then you pick another uh, movement sequence. Then you repeat it for that segment of the routine, and so what your what your routine is basically segments butted up to each other that really don't necessarily flow. Uh, so again, with the knee bending, entirely different, Commander. And here we have this another segment then with the movement sequence, body movement, arms and hands, heads a little bit, definitely legs and feet. So, Commander, you have your hands cupped, and yet the team is marching with hands flared, and then you march out. You start to get out of step, and so it's and I don't want to offend at all, but honestly, it comes across as sloppy and not well put together. So the but biggest issue here is lack of consistent military flavor, and that can be detrimental. That's supposed to be a main part of every single exhibition routine, armed and unarmed. Armed is quite a bit easier to maintain that military flavor. Unarmed can then can go off into different directions and completely lose military flavor. You didn't completely lose it here, although in some instances it just didn't really resemble military exhibition drill at all. And I'm sorry if that's upsetting, but you need to stay within the parameters of military exhibition drill. So below this video, I'm going to go to my website. I'll copy and paste some information for you. It's the articles to read. You can download my DrillMaster routine mapping tools. You can get an idea of what military exhibition drill is by incorporating the boxes of three method that I I didn't make up the moves. What I did is I put them together in a grouping, and I called them the boxes of three methods. So it's 3 steps. It's actually 4 steps, but I usually don't count the flank, the pivot movement. So it's 3 steps and a pivot in different directions, and you separate the flight here or platoon in ranks and elements or squads, then different sections, and A's and B's throughout ones and twos, whichever you want to use. So being able to write exhibition drill that has a military flavor, then you can take your movement sequences and layer those over military exhibition drill, and then communicate that military flavor much more effectively. If you want to keep your movements sequences, that's fine. I wouldn't repeat them so much. I'd scale down the repetition and maybe incorporate more throughout, or have a, let's say you have 4 sections of your routine where you have different movement sequences, and of the 4 you can break them up into little bits here and there and have them repeat, but but the but you would go 1 through 4, and then maybe 2 1 2 3, and then 4 3 2 1, and so have them repeat, but in a different order. That's going to even come across much more effectively than these long segments of repetition. So I hope this has been helpful. I honestly do want to educate and help any way I can. So I'll post those links below. If you have any feedback at all for me, then please let me know. Thank you.